I never thought I'd find myself standing here alone, heart racing, mind spinning. The day my life changed forever. But it wasn't just my life. It was my trust, my marriage, my whole world shattered. I never imagined that a single night, a single phone call could change everything. But then again, I had no idea how fragile trust really was. It all started so innocently. My wife Sarah and her mom had planned this little getaway for months. A trip to a beautiful hotel on the coast. Just the two of them, some much-needed bonding time. They had been talking about it for ages. A relaxing weekend, a change of pace, nothing extravagant, just a chance to recharge. I didn't think much of it. I had my own things to do, work to catch up on. After all, we were comfortable, happy even, or so I thought. But as it always goes, life throws you curveballs you're not ready for. I didn't know that the most mundane plans could turn into a nightmare. You see, the hotel they'd chosen wasn't a random one. It happened to be the same place where my good friend Ben was staying. Ben had been a part of my life for years. He was like family, a reliable guy, someone I trusted with everything. He was there for a business conference, just a short trip for him. We'd even joked about meeting up for a drink if our schedules allowed. But it never seemed to align. Everything seemed fine until one evening Ben sent me a text. It was casual, just a quick message, but it made my stomach drop. Dude, you wouldn't believe it. I think I just saw Sarah. At first, I didn't think much of it. Maybe he was mistaken. After all, the hotel wasn't exactly small, and there were probably a dozen women who could look like Sarah. But then Ben sent another text, and my blood ran cold. She's with someone, man, and it's not her mom. You need to see this. The first wave of disbelief hit me hard. I tried to dismiss it. Surely there was some mistake. Ben had been a bit too buried in work. Maybe he wasn't thinking straight. Maybe he was seeing things. But deep down, I knew something wasn't right. I couldn't shake the feeling. I couldn't just ignore it. I had to know. I had to find out if Ben was just overreacting or if there was something I didn't understand. It was late, but I didn't care. I dropped everything, grabbed my car keys, and drove straight to the hotel. The whole drive, my mind was racing. Was it possible? Was Sarah cheating on me? Why hadn't I seen it coming? We'd been married for 5 years. I loved her. I trusted her. Didn't I? Felt like the earth was shifting beneath me. The further I drove, the more the world seemed to close in on me. My hands were shaking, my thoughts spiraling. When I got to the hotel, the lobby seemed ordinary, just like any other. People came and went, chatting, checking in. But for me, every person in that lobby felt like a stranger. I wasn't just another guest anymore. I wasn't even a husband, just a man on the edge, clinging to a thread of trust. I tried to stay calm, kept telling myself that I was overthinking, that there must be a rational explanation. Maybe it was a mistake. Maybe Ben had misunderstood. But deep down, the pit in my stomach was telling me something different. As I walked through the hotel, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was about to uncover something I wasn't prepared for. Then I saw them. Sarah and the man, close, laughing, their bodies leaning in toward each other. I froze. The air around me seemed to thin, the noises of the hotel fading into the background. There they were, my wife and this man, standing in the corner of the lobby as if the world didn't matter. She was touching him. It wasn't just a casual touch. It was intimate, the kind of touch shared between people who weren't just friends. My heart pounded. I could barely breathe. It was as if everything around me had stopped moving, and all I could hear was the deafening sound of my own pulse racing in my ears. I didn't want to believe it. Couldn't. This wasn't the woman I'd married. She was my rock, the one person I thought would always have my back. But what I was seeing, it couldn't be ignored. Ben wasn't wrong. This was real. And the person I trusted more than anyone had just shattered that trust in the most brutal way. I couldn't stay there, not like that. I turned on my heel, walked out into the cold night air, and immediately called her. "Where are you, Sarah? What's going on?" I tried to keep my voice steady, but it cracked. She could hear the panic, the fear, but she didn't know why. She didn't know that I already knew everything. I was no longer asking for answers. I was demanding them. "Hey, baby, how's it going? I miss you. I hope you're doing okay." Her voice, So sweet, so normal, sent chills down my spine. The woman I had trusted for years was speaking to me as if nothing was wrong. Sarah, where are you right now? Who's the guy you're with? Silence. I could hear her breathing, but there was no answer. I waited, my heart pounding. Then finally, I heard it. It's not what you think. I can explain. And that was when everything came crashing down. Sarah admitted it. She had been seeing him for months, the brother of my best friend. The one person I trusted more than anyone else. He had been in my house, shared meals with us, spent time with me, while secretly betraying me in the worst way possible. I felt like I had been hit by a freight train. Everything I knew about my life, my marriage, my world, it was all a lie. The confrontation was raw. The anger, the disbelief, the heartbreak. It was all too much. I couldn't look at her anymore. I didn't want to hear her explanations, her excuses. The damage was done. There was nothing she could say that would undo the betrayal. The trust we had built over 5 years was gone. And the person who had broken it was my wife, the woman I had stood by, supported, and loved. The next day I left. I didn't look back. There was nothing left to salvage. The pain was unbearable, but I knew I couldn't stay. I couldn't keep pretending that everything was okay when it wasn't. It's been months now. I've learned to heal, to rebuild, but the truth always comes out, doesn't it? It always finds a way to destroy the lies. And when it does, you have to face it, no matter how much it hurts. I walked away from Sarah, from Ben. I walked away from everything I thought was real. But in the end, it was the only choice I had left. I found strength in the pain. I found clarity in the chaos. And now I know one thing for certain. Trust, once broken, can never be fully repaired. But I also learned this. Sometimes the people closest to you can hurt you the most. But that doesn't mean you have to let them destroy you. You have the power to walk away, to take control of your life, your happiness, and your future. So I'm telling you, if you're ever in a situation where your trust is shattered, don't stay in the shadows. Step into the light, take control, and never let anyone take away your peace of mind. Thanks for listening to my story. If you've ever been betrayed or have a similar experience, feel free to share it in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more real-life stories like this one.